So we're not starting yet. That was just a...
Okay.
Hello and welcome everyone tuning in around the world to the Europe Hub of EarthStock 2024. It's my pleasure, Kara Stonehouse from the Hague Center and Gaia Union, to welcome you today to day 2 about the ancient prophecies and future visions. And so we're so happy today to present you some of the astounding, huge, and impactful visions that are coming forth from us, from the field of EarthStock, from these co-creators, representing today from Gaia Union, Felipe and Silvana, as well as some European ceremonialists coming from Switzerland and Germany. So I'd like to welcome and introduce Felipe and Silvana today from Gaia Union. We've been working together for the last 6 months, getting the Gaia Commons organizational structure clarified and ready to really have a great impact in the world. So I'd like to introduce Felipe Leal. He's a son of Gaia, and he's an ancestral visionary, a light networker, and a weaver of worlds. He served as the messenger, helping to weave ancestral wisdom with the modern social digital and technologies. So I think that's such an important bridge that we're holding. So he's the creative director and vision holder for Gaia Commons, and he'll be sharing with the big vision today. I'd also like to welcome and introduce Silvana Emilia Revian. She's a Gaia Commons focalizer focusing on strategy, and she's a futurist and strategist and a founder. She's passionate about regenerative economy, human development, and systems change with over a decade of entrepreneurial experience in various sectors. Silvana is passionate about reaping human potential and the ways we as society can harness technological advancement, intuition, analytical, and interdisciplinary thinking to steward social regeneration. Silvana bridges worlds and thereby facilitates mutual understanding, synergy, and efficient allocation of global resources, acting as a catalyst for positive change. And she's a positive force on our team as well, always bringing humor and connection and love into the day. So I'd like to start with you, or just like say hello, welcome in Felipe. Hello to your voice for a moment.
Hello, family.
Good. And Silvana, hello.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be here today.
Great. Yeah, so I can't wait to hear what you guys want to share with the world today for the Gaia Commons vision. It's a vision that's coming through all of us. So let's start with you, Felipe.
Okay, the presentation. Should I share it?
I'm going to share it.
Okay. Well, so welcome back to our natural network, which is Gaia, and this is the vision that we have been receiving from our ancestors and also coming from our hearts and the dreams of the Great Spirit. This is the manifestation of a divine plan that has been unfolding through eons, and it converged at this moment of time and in this space, in the planet that we call Gaia, our mother, but at the same time our container, where we are all a part of that body. And through many threads and many different cultures, this unfolding of the civilization have been happening for many years and many different cycles of light, darkness. And right now we're in the moment where we go back to a period of light, of unity, peace, harmony. But we are still finishing those last threads where we need to really consolidate the fabric and the systems that are needed to manifest those visions, those prophecies. There's you can start. So we all know we have here during this gathering about the white buffalo prophecy next, and the eagle and the condor union prophecy, which also includes the quetzal and the hummingbird. And just as a reference, very quickly, like in summary, the moment that we are living, it's implying the unity of all polarities, of all complements, whether we see it as left and right, or left and right hemisphere, or the mind and the heart, or the south and the north, the west and the east. All this is coming together to share from one heart. Next, to achieve the world peace, or basically to live in harmony with nature and with all let's say, all our relations. And there has been many movements. We are not going to go into them, but there's some references here in the next slides. We are all sharing the same vision, sharing the same purpose. We've been doing different sacred pilgrimage. I could speak in that sense for the South America, the north of South America, which is the hummingbird, and we've been bringing this pilgrimage to the north, but also to the south, to the different gatherings, and also receiving many elders in different gatherings, which are very similar of our ancestral gatherings, but now they are starting to be embraced by new generations, by new ways of celebrating, of coming together. Just to put one of these examples, before we used to have a lot of gatherings where we had different ceremonies around, for example, the sun, so the sun dance. Now we're still in a bigger scale, having all these festivals where we also celebrate life, of course, in different ways and from different styles, but there's something that unites all this that is happening in the world. Is not randomly, not everything is randomly happening. There's many things that are happening with purpose, many flags, many networks, many colors, many cultures coming together and uniting as one. Next. Yeah, basically to celebrate life, and honor life. That's the main premise and goal. And of course, we have to do a lot of weaving for achieving a lot of work and production. Also, next, to achieve something that might look something like this, something that where we come back to live in harmony, sharing, let's say, in circles, in more egalitarian ways, or more distributed ways of sharing trust, of sharing power, of sharing resources. Next. Yeah, with many different possible ways to put that vision, but basically, next, it all comes to love organized as one humanity, as one ecosystem, planetary ecosystem. So we are basically very honored to be the younger, well, not the younger, but the new generation that is holding many of these pieces, so that the younger generations can actually step and start leading and start living much more into that reality that we've been basically longing for, and also building it and co-creating it with many of the things that we are going to share right after that Silvana is going to share with us. So, well, from my side, I'm just, thankful that we can be sharing these convergence of many different threads that we have been putting together, sharing, as I already said, with different elders from different cultures, but not just indigenous, but also evolutionary leaders in many different areas. And we've been trying to put all these into one fabric that can contain or sustain us for the next steps of the present and the future. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'll continue the thread. So basically, from embodying this prophecy of unification of the people, of the mind and the heart, of technology and spirit, of programmed and organic intelligence, Gaia Commons is envisioning a future where we understand ourselves as one planetary organism. And so looking at this vision, it's worth it to look at where we are right now. And basically where we are right now is we had a very productive system that brought forth many of the achievements that we have in our current societies, but it has almost reached its maximum potential and is slowly unraveling. There is all the meta crises that we are knowing about, and there is a growing let's say, society of pioneers that are tackling various aspects of these problems. However, these pioneers are fragmented. And so where we're looking at is basically how can we find sort of a unifying framework for these pioneers and also society in general, so we can truly embody this transition of becoming one planetary organism. And while this might sound like it is a big dream, just a big vision in long distance, I feel, and I think I can speak for us as Gaia Commons, we feel that it's closer than one might think. And so one of the reasons for this is that there is a growing overall rise in unity consciousness, a growing number of people who are seeing already the world from a perspective of oneness. And in addition to this, there is already sort of, materialization of this vision of unity in terms of technology, in terms of the internet, which is allowing everyone to connect, to share data, to basically slowly build this mycelium, this connecting nervous system where we can share information freely. And I know this might be, depending on who's listening, a little bit of a challenging one, but the rise of artificial intelligence, or what we sometimes call programmed intelligence, which is allowing us to aggregate and synthesize data at a level which was never possible before, which helps us to understand needs and preferences from across the globe, as though it was really one nervous system processing data. And then talking about data, there is Web3, which is basically helping us to share our data while keeping ownership and to make agreements and being able to rely on them beyond relying on institutions. And so it's not basically at this point, this is sort of the predisposition which helps us getting into more some clearer steps into what we are envisioning, which basically we've been asked to present today, not just a vision from a how can I say, almost theoretical kind of view, but also practical. How does this vision really look like? How does this ground? How do we get to this global organism? and a functioning global organism. So essentially what we're saying is, well, we can activate the heart mind or the brain of the planetary organism. And what we understand with this is basically governance, a means of coordination for this planetary organism, as well as a means of communication for this planetary organism. As I was already kind of hinting at, we see it as a planetary nervous system of databases and platforms that communicate with each other, so that we can also get into the third element, which is collaboration, sort of like a planetary circulatory system, which is allowing the oxygen or capitals in this case, all sorts of capitals, freely to where the planetary needs are. So at this point, it's maybe helpful to quickly elaborate on the distinction of Gaia Commons and Gaia Hub, and basically the understanding that we are all one, we are all children of Gaia. That's the fundamental point. So all of us, everybody, without doing anything, is Gaia. And we are not claiming ownership over this. And then Gaia Hub, which is essentially a space where we can come into communication and coordination without much structuring of this planetary organism. So a very free and open space where many representatives without sort of like already committing to something very specific are finding together. So this is where we are right now. This space where we are right now is a space of the Gaia Hub, where people are coordinating and collaborating to think about and talk about this vision of unification, this vision of the planetary organism. And Gaia Commons is a specific proposal of how that organization might look like, how that nervous system, how that circulatory system, how that brain and governance might look like. And so this is what I'm quickly going to talk about. It's a lot to squeeze into the remaining time, but I'm going to try and give you at least an idea of how these proposals look like. All right, so basically in terms of governance, in terms of this brain of the planetary organism, we sat together and we said, how does a unified planetary governance look like? And we harvested fruit of many of already in thinking of how does this governance look like. We had held many conversations, many years really of talking to various networks already, and we sort of distilled or crystallized this proposal in terms of aiming at what is a governance that is inclusive, efficient, leverages collective intelligence, and follows ethical principles. And what came out on the other side is this proposal for governance, which leverages collective intelligence by including indigenous and ancestral wisdom and modern knowledge and programmed in AI. It is inclusive by basically creating equal opportunities and not and incentivizing joining from various networks by not giving any founders specific favors or disproportional power in that sense. It follows integral decision-making processes so that all or as many perspectives and dimensions as possible are included. There is a strong incentivization of inter-network collaboration or coordination and participation. And at the same time, this needs to be balanced with efficiency and efficacy in that sense. So how can we make sure that we're not getting lost in this constant integral inclusion? And there is a strong role that's being played by holonic distribution of decision making. So according to thematics or geography, different holons are the ones that are taking the decisions. And also a lot of the decision making is being done in regional, interdependent but autonomous self-governing communities. So what you will later see as basically the local eco-habitats, so local habitats that are globally connected, therefore the word global. And and so interwoven into this governance constitutions are obviously the principles of always honoring life, stewarding regeneration in the largest sense, and following higher purpose. Okay, so how, again, more specifically, how does this look like now? So basically there is, the proposition is that there are stewardship councils where stewards are identifying the needs of the network and the best ways of how to solve those needs. So I'm obviously summarizing here. So there is representatives of different networks. That's the goal. The goal is to have different networks always represented in any of the councils, so that we can truly coordinate not just within one network, but on a wider scale. And then we have the operative holons, also represented various networks that are basically supporting the implementations of these decisions, kind of getting the actual work done. And as part of this collaborative effort of identifying the needs and what needs to be done, there is also coordination within fund using. So basically, collectively, just making decisions of what should be funded and how, in that sense. And what we have here is basically the distribution of the funds. So on one hand, it's a collective decision, but then there is also baked into the decision-making process watershed system, which automatically immediately distributes funding to different holons for decision-making or to different funds. And basically with this fund distribution model here, we're trying to honor the fact that there is strong funding needs in philanthropy, but also we want to be, as a global network, regenerative in our funding also, and increasingly independent and self-sufficient. And so for this reason, we have a part that goes into impact investments that is going to sort of replenish the funds in that way. I will talk about this a little bit later in the economic model also. And then a third of the funding is going directly into these global eco-habitats, supporting regenerative communities all around the globe. All right. And so what I was saying basically is, according to these impact areas, there is these the funding decisions or the proposals are being made, the decisions are being taken again in inter-network coordinations, and then various projects and allied organizations are being funded in this collaborative process. All right, so I'm going to very briefly talk about this idea of economy, this global circulatory system, where we are no more looking at economy like in the old days at basically just maximizing profit, but instead looking at purpose whenever we are doing anything. So basically, the way we are looking at this, it's sort of it's maximizing planetary well-being. So always looking at the planetary organism, like the circulatory system, is making sure that all organs are always nourished in that sense. And so we're looking at the needs, as I already explained, and at what is good, what people are good at, and what people love. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of ikigai. And ultimately, we are looking at maximizing production, not at profit levels, but at purpose levels, so to speak. So maximizing the global production, the production at the global purpose. So this is a little bit of a background of what we thought. How does a regenerative financial system look like? What does it need to fulfill? For the purpose of this broadcast, I will not go too much into this, but I will instead say that what we came up with is basically a financial system that is like a multi-layered currency system. And so bear with me here. I know it's a bit overwhelming, this slide, but basically think of it like this. So now we have this globally connected organism that is having a planetary governance, distributed and holonic, so it's not centralized, that can make the production decisions about what is, like, who is being funded and what is actually being done on this planet indirectly, which until now is being largely decided by central banks and very wealthy fiat currencies, like the normal currency that we have, for those that don't know, what is being funded. And so now we have this governance, this planetary governance that is directed at purpose, at the planetary well-being, and instead these different holons in various areas all across the globe get to decide what is being funded. And so the various regenerative projects that are listed on the right of this graph are being funded, and whatever profit or surplus is coming out is again being, on one hand, shared in a universal basic income to all the network members, and on the other hand, the profit is basically going back into this governance system that is again deciding where it needs to go. So much like you have this circulatory motion, much like in the circulatory system, where over and over the oxygen in the body is going to where it's most needed and where it makes sense. In addition to this, we are proposing that part of or that the investment that is being made into production and into land is also tokenized. What that means is basically that we are creating our own currency, which is backed by production. So you actually know that with the money that you hold, you can actually buy some real existing essential products and services. And part of it is basically backed by land. We call these tokens the cacao token, which is backed by production, and the Terra token, which is backed by land. So this solves basically the fact of to make sure basically how can we sustain a circulatory system that or an economy that is fair, that is purpose-based, that is backed by essential resources, that is stable, that is transparent, and it's resilient. However, not everybody immediately gets access to to this kind of capital, immediately, we still have the governance deciding what is being funded and what not. And to sort of add a layer so that everybody who is being born immediately has access to capital, we propose another financial system, which we call the hours exchange financial system, so to say, or the currency, where every member of this planetary organism is rewarded with hours and gets to share and exchange 1 hour for another immediately upon just being born and entering this network. And in addition, what we are also proposing is that you get to accredit unpaid work, which is that lowest stream that you see here, basically making sure that we accredit all the hours that people are spending and contributing to our planetary organism, to our planetary economy, that are currently unaccounted for and largely ignored in the traditional economy. Okay, I think I'm going to put a stop here because it's a lot and we are almost at time. And yes, just to close, the sort of the overall vision is that we are having these tools and frameworks for coordination, as I said, for collaboration, and ultimately what we need at the foundation, almost at the core of all of this, is the tools for communication, so the databases and platforms. And so what Gaia Commons is really inviting everyone here and everybody who's listening to us to do is to come together and to find the best ways in collaboration, in coordination, in connection, in communication to build these systems and to also live in it. All right, I think I'm gonna. I don't know if I have more time, but I think that. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for listening.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's truly an expansive vision about full systems change from the foundations, the root causes of some of the physical versions of the root causes of some of our unsustainability of the world today. So thank you so much, Gaia Commons, for sharing this. It gives us hope for the next generation that will find new ways to make the world a better place.
Thank you.
Let's just take that in for a second. Yeah, so next I'd like to invite us to, I'd like to welcome in a beautiful traditional healer and medicine woman. She's carrying a different, she's the founder and president of a Swiss NGO called We Are One, supporting the Earth Mother, uniting the human family, weaving and bridge building between cultures from Switzerland, working with sacred sites, energy fields, and doing healing online and offline. She supports the fulfillment of the prophecy of the eagle, condor, quetzal, and colibri, and has been trained by and traveled with hereditary chief Phil Lane Jr. and many others on the pilgrimage to honor this prophecy. Suzanne will share about her upcoming yearly world tour project starting next year in Greenland to unite the Greenland fire with the 8th Global Fire Movement with wisdom keepers from all the continents. I'm really happy to welcome you today, Suzanne Kasek. Oh, yeah, I think you might be muted. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Thank you, Sister Cara. Hello, everybody. My name is Susan Kazak. I live in Switzerland. The great-grandfather of my father is from Latvia, and the great-great-grandmother from mother's side is from Italy, and my grandmother is from Switzerland. So I'm kind of a mixed European heritage blood on the body side. So first, I like to tune in a little bit with a very short meditation, like a 2-minute meditation, to center a little bit. Okay, please close your eyes. Take some deep breath. And hold your hand, take your hand and hold it on in your heart space. And observe. Breathe normally. And put your feet flat on the ground. And extend your feet chakra, which is around 30 centimeters below the ground as a natural state. And put that chakra down, down, down to the earth. Going down, 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 down. Like creating your roots into the earth. Until you reached the center of Mother Earth. And when you're there, you take in all the energy, the light energy Mother Earth is giving you, the water sources there, or any energy you can feel, and put it up, up, until your feet chakra, and then through your feet into your body system. And put it up into your heart, where you hold your hand there. And then you reach out like a tree up to the cosmos, and you imagine a golden light from the moon and the sun. A golden light coming from the ninth chakra here, over your head, into your skull, meeting in the heart, the energy, the frequency of Mother Earth, and be there for a little while. And then you put a golden light in your aura around you, like a circle. Paint a golden light around your body. And you breathe the golden light in with your breath. Thank you for joining me for this little meditation. Gonna call in for directions now.
Just make sure you're,
Yeah, hello?
make sure your sound, your
Oh.
performance sound is on.
Okay, thank you, Kara. Yes, I just got it. Okay. Yo hempatakia tuvinaya tekiayo hinanita ito hagatakia tuvinaya tekiayo hinanita takia tuvina tekiayo hinanita yo hempatakia tuvinaya tekiayo hinanita wakatakia tuvinaya tekiayo hinanita makatakia tuvinaya tekiayo tekiayo hinanita I'm going to talk about a yearly world tour starting in Greenland in favor for Mother Earth.
But I thought you will be.
Not sure where that sound is coming from, Michael or Mark. We can hear the conference or something.
Oh yeah, there's a talking, yes. Should I continue or?
It's coming from the Mona Lisa one. Can we get that muted, Michael or Mark? Just wait one moment. I'll let that
Yes.
be settled. Okay. Working on it. Just a second. No,
Take
I'm
your
not
time.
co-hosted. We do need Michael to do it.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Please continue.
That's okay. All righty. Okay. All set now. All right. I'm going to talk about a yearly world tour, which will be starting next year in Greenland. The exact date will be found because certain profound, high respect leaders need to find the one date they can come together. So but it will be happen. It will happen. Okay, so we're gonna go to Greenland because the ice is melting there very rapidly, and the elder, a dear friend of mine, Angangak, he's from there, He's the oldest wisdom keeper from Greenland, touring around over, I don't know, for over 40 years to over 76 countries with his message to stop polluting Mother Earth, stop hurting Mother Earth, stop extracting what doesn't need to be extracted from her. And the ice is melting very rapidly, so rapidly that slowly, if we don't stop our ways, the sea level, sorry, I cannot say it in a kind way. I just need to say how it is. The reality is, so that's a reality. So I'm not talking about a fantasy thing here. I'm just gonna talk straight what the reality is in Greenland. If we don't stop, the sea level will rise and rise and rise. And you can see also that you can back it up from some scientists proving that the sea level is rising in a way that some regions of the earth will be underwater. The lowlands, I don't want to be too scary here. So, you can figure it out on your own. And that's why we're going first to Greenland, backing up his mission and helping Mother Earth. And we decided to do a yearly world tour for that cause with wisdom keepers from 7 continents. And we will unite the very ancient peace fire from Uncle Angangak with the 8th fire, the prophesied fire of Chief Elaine Jr., hereditary Chief Elaine Jr. And we will film it and spread the word. And we like to have some collaborations, workshops, music. We will have talking circles, sharings in different kind of levels in conferences. We include also youth and children going to schools and to youth. We try to include everything. So that's in a nutshell what I'm going to do. Because I think somebody else my time is already up.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, can you just put us in the chat if there's any website that you'd like people to go to explore more about that, and they'll put that into the broadcast feed in the channels.
Perfect. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing your heart in your ceremony. I was really touched, and I just love the way your energy is opening and transforming, and all the great work that you're doing all around the world. So thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Very
Suzanne.
welcome. You're very welcome, Kara. Thank you for having me. So I put the email here.
In the Zoom chat, yeah, and then Mark will pick it up and put it in the broadcast comments.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
So next, I'd like to introduce my friend and colleague who's we've been working together recently, bringing ceremonies for inner world, ceremonies for honoring the safe spaces for darkness, for the deeper, darker parts of ourselves that need to be brought to light. This is a beautiful traditional healer and medicine woman. She's carrying the different spiritual names. So I'll let you say it so I don't say it wrong. I ask, will you say your spiritual name for me?
One of those is Asayasuk.
Yes, yes. And this is the one with this means the one with many hands that can touch very deeply. And I feel that about you, or little grandmother, or white swan, some of your spiritual names. In her private practice, Anya's goal is that everyone finds the place where they can best develop their potential. She extends the same invitation to you, bridging between the allies and the generations, protecting circles wherever she's invited, walking the earth as one sacred site. So I'm really honored to have you here to close this day for us, Anya, about sacred prophecies and visions for the future. So welcome.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here and close this session, to be invited. And I give great thanks to all that have been here, that are participants, that listen, that are knowledge keepers, each and everyone that supported it. And also thank you to you, Kara. So there's a lot to talk, there is a lot to tell. And what I want to talk about is to give credits to lineage and to give credits to ancient prophecy. So Suzanne talked already about that. Gaia, all those people talked already about that. And I'm not sure if I will have the time to expand on all what I prepared to have this, but I want to invite you and a little bit focus on that. What is an ancient pathway? So my ancient pathway is to work with medicine, and I invite you to look at medicine, all items you see and that are dear to you. Where you was words and big words, huge wisdom to talk about, and the future itself. So how to go deep and how to see what you can see with your own eyes and on the other side of this world. And I widen my perspective, and I can share my path and ancient path I crossed. And so this is a door you can go through to widen your eyes to see with another perspective, not only this world, but seeing what is unseen. And these did people all over knowledge systems, languages, and lands, and I did it all over the world. So if I can do it, you can do it. Each and everyone can do it. And we're going to do it in a ceremony and bring it into daily life. Then we have a prayer, that ancient prophecy, and bring it really to life. And this is what I want to share with you, not to behave in a ritual way and to teach, and what I do also with children. I don't want to teach them only. I want to be with them and engage them to find new pathways. And also, as I understood in this gathering, we want to do different. So everything that we want to do should have a meaning. So in this time of the year, it's the late summer here in Germany. We are gathering the fruits, gathering like berries, grapes, potatoes, and so on. It's time for harvest. And I do want us to think about this harvest, the old prayers, the ancient prophecies that are still alive. And we have to walk this path, all this path, and make it living. So as Suzanne shared, so as the Gaia people shared, so as we do it today, not only create another event, to create really a movement. And this is my prayer, to create harmony in alignment with that, what the old ones already prayed for, and then find what we have to let go or invite new. So today I created an altar, which I do in ceremonial way. And on my altar, I do have items that I want to share with you. I do have feathers. I do have the bear, the grandmother bear. I do have sacred water. I do have all those items, stones, which represent clear communication and the magic of words. And a figurine of the Great Mother. And especially the white swan, which I'm representing also, which is coming also with the star constellation, which we are having now. So exactly at the time with the full moon, you can see it here in our area at in the heaven, and it is also representing the heaven. So I'm bringing that as a path from my heart, that what I represent, I do want to share with you. And I invite you to share with me what you know. So when we meet with all our ancestors, with all our sacred field, which we gather with those items. We gather under the trees like we gathered in Europe in the old days. We found our gathering places under the yew trees, and we should do it again and again. We should, like I do, visit the ancient sites again to reconnect with the ancient medicines and the ancient pathways, the doors to step through. And we can all do that. And I'm sharing this with you, so this will be part of the gathering. And all my items and all my energy which I'm having connects to you, so we become dear friends. So I heard from a European hub, and I'm really grateful for that, because this is my lineage. This is what we do. This is where I stem from and what I want to share with you. So I'm bringing in my energy and also the energy of the bee, which I heard what we need for a planetary organism. So coordinated like in a beehive. So the seeds can be planted and materialized for the future. So everything what you do feel now, or whatever had been felt, should become living. And it should. And I hope it will nourish us all. And I close with a small sound. Thank you that the gentle bee and all those others could be with us today. Thank you. Great things.
Yeah, that sounded like the wind that comes on the wings of a bee. So gentle and pure. Thank you, Anya, for weaving us together as a movement, not as teachers and learners, but as co-creators. Appreciate you, your energy. So that wraps us up for today. I'd like to share my screen now and show you how to join us to deepen in the conversation room. We'll be in a breakout room of that different Zoom room now that you can join. I'll just show you how to do that. When you're on the EarthStock website, there's this blue watch button. It takes you to the page that's about the broadcast. You can also get there here. Then you have to scroll down a little bit. And then you will see this, the conversation.cc, and you click on that. And then one more time, you need to click again to enter the Zoom room. And so we're just going to go there now. And if you're on the broadcast now, you can join us. You can speak with these fine, beautiful people and ask deeper questions, and we deepen our relationships. So join us there soon. Thank you. Let's see everyone on the screen if we can, just say your final goodbye. Take a moment if they can. So thank you so much. Yes, so for this Tuesday of vision, prophecy, and may we hold the energy for our greatest dreams to come true through us. So, blessings.